this is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. I'm hoping that my mic is working properly today. It says some mic is or something is attached to the USB port, and so something is taking sound. Hopefully it is the proper mic and not something else. You never know anymore. I think I've hit that magic time where the perfect computer that always worked is getting a little janky now. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good week. You're talking about dumping too much cinnamon in your tea. There is no, you know what? I love cinnamon in my tea. I have this friend who is from Britain and he just cringes to death, but I just like to load it in there. So there may not be too much, such thing as too much cinnamon for me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it would ever taste like a clean. Maybe if I had like a gallon of it in there, I don't know. Any amount that could actually accidentally spill out just from going like that, I don't know if that would be too much for me. Vanilla is kind of in the same department. Nutmeg, yeah, I've heard something about cinnamon. Maybe it's good. Maybe too much is bad. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I kind of like it. Tastes good. I'm eating it. What's the picture about? It's some weird new plant that Jackie found. But I'm going to do like some other stuff first. Because you know what? If I do all your guys's first that I wrote... that I found, then I forget to do mine, and then I have some from last week, and so I'm going to do mine first. Because these are all ones I was supposed to do last week, and I forgot. Okay, so I think actually I might have found this week, but I thought, I remember doing a video where not only was... this one done, like done. The palm was done, okay? And the images on here showed it done. And this is supposedly from 2025, and it had been done for quite some time, like a few years, but it's not done now. Like, this part's not done. Basically, this thing went backwards for me, like... There was more structures in here and stuff, and it was like done, and now you can see, I don't know what's supposed to be there, but up here, it not done. No, this thing was freaking packed out. For a while, I was in a timeline where I was like, see, look, that it was packed. It was so packed, and it's sort of like reversed out now that it is not. I mean, maybe they did finish these this year, but it had been done for years. And then here, okay, I was in a timeline for a while. I don't know if you remember this, where I was flipping out because I was here, and there was the biggest, tallest buildings, like the biggest, most ridiculous buildings you've ever saw in your life. And there was all like cement over structures and giant hordes of like water world, and it was next level cray. I mean, we're talking silver sparkles of the universe here. And now these are actually just like, you know, I'm not saying it's nothing, but this is more like normal now. These are like all these residentials were in here. These were like sparkling tall buildings. So if you go down here, they're not, I'm not saying it's nothing, but it was next effing level for a while. And so like if you come down here, bloop, and you look at them, these are nice buildings and stuff, but they're not like 30-foot tall, sparkling silver, next level insanity. And so we're kind of went back to a little bit more normal now. So I actually feel kind of weirded out to see this and go, where's the cray that was on there? The cray is gone. Get out of there. Yeah, so I'm like, you know, so I'm not really used to going backwards. Usually stuff just gets more and more. And so now I feel like, did I go backwards? But then I was sort of looking over here, and there's more down here. So maybe this, which I don't think existed before, not to this level. Like the water had come in, but we hadn't gotten this level of buildup. This looks freaking fake to me. So now it looks like a lot of that hotel building went to here. So maybe that's why it's not so cray-cray over here, because now they've moved it to, like, they did it here first and they're behind now. Even these are not quite what I recall, but it's more like it. See, with all these above ground, like, but there was like this whole water world thing over there where they had built, there was like big areas of water and then buildings like hanging over the water, like giant swimming pool things, and it was all silvery. So more like this. I mean, the buildings were more, but they were like silvery. So I'm kind of like flipped out that they're not all silvery, because it was like all that mirror type stuff is what I'm going to go down here and look at one of these. Boink. Boink. Yeah, this is more like it, but it still looks a little old school. The rest was, it was super mirror-y. This is a lot of like, I don't know, it looks more like 70s architecture or 80s or 90s. So I don't know what happened, but that's kind of weird for me. Went backwards. 2D. Take that off. Okay, so we went backwards on this one. And this one had been for a while. We had reset to north. There we go. Oh, that's north? Okay. I'm thinking maybe this is tilted a little, because I recall north having these kind of straight up and down. Let me see. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Because this because the Strait of Hormuz has gone whoop. And so it used to be more, okay, so that's why, okay, that's why. I really do think that this pinnacle here is like sticking out more and more all the time. So that would explain why now these guys are more sideways. Okay, so I remember this one being like almost done. Like it was almost done to the level like this one, and it had all but a couple fronds done, and I was there for a while. And it's weird because I had said it got all washed out, like the image was so bright, so I thought maybe it was changing. And so you can see it kind of looks like it's done, but then when you come down here, it's like, how, first of all, why can't I see better? But there's squares here, but they're not done, but they're sort of done. Like, are we like looking at 67 timelines at once? That there's like, what is going on here? Because if you look at this, that's not a done building, but yet there's an outline of a building or something. I don't quite get it. So, but see here is a done building. So these are not, but yet usually if it's just an empty lot, you won't have so many squares around, and it would be more like here, right? So this is just a little weird to me, because it's like, if you just passingly look at it, you might think it's still done, but it is not done. This is weird, because, okay, these, I guess they're building them now. This is not, so this must be a different image. But still, I mean, this whole thing had been done for at least a couple years. This part, and I think this is the newer one. Why is that not finished? That's weird. That was finished, okay. And most of this outer ring was finished. The one thing I'll say is this outer ring is getting bigger and bigger. But it's not done, like, there's no structures hardly. Maybe that, I don't know, what is that, solar panels? I don't even know what that is. So, yeah, we went way backwards on these Palm Islands things. And now if you look, there's like this Palm waterfront that they said they were going to build and then they canceled it. But I'm wondering if it's shifting into reality, the Palm waterfront. And the Palm waterfront, it goes like this. There's going to be like a big crescent here. And the weird thing is this thing is sort of in the way, so I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe it'll scoot over by magic or something. Because this is older, so how are they going to put a big crescent in? But then they said they canceled it. But I had never even seen or heard of that one before looking into these Palm Islands. Okay, so, and this thing has been slowly zooming in too. So I don't know what's going on. This is so bright here. It wasn't like this before. So there might be that we're going to have more buildup in here now, and then later those will zoom back. I don't know. It's bizarre, but I don't know. It's kind of flipping me out to just not have that. It was like absolutely Wonder World in here. And now it's like, you know, it's cool, but it's not effing amazing like it was before. Okay. The world. Different things seem to be done than I remember. It's about in the same spot. Like a few things are done. You know, actually, this is kind of weird because I looked at this last week and I don't think this block was done. Whatever was done before, I don't think that's what's done now, but it's maybe even a little bit more done. Like, see this. Is this done or not done? Why is it so blurry? I think this is a building, but, you know, what up with that? You know, it's not like you're going to hide this from the missiles of Iran because they got satellites and stuff. So, and they know where this is. It's there's no point. I don't think that's why, especially when they have these ones all nice and shiny and very visible. Like, how come I can see this? The minute we get over here, I can't see crap because this is changing. There's a strip right here. But see, this one's kind of washed out and bright, but I can still see that these are buildings. So there's no excuse for this sucking so bad. Sorry, there's something about this mouse that every like 15th scroll, it goes backwards and then makes me crazy, but the other mice are giving me even more trouble, so I don't know. See, Logo Islands, that's really just developing. Look at that, crazy. I don't think that was there for long, this area. Look, it's so big, it's as big as the Palm Islands now. This too, actually, it's gotten a lot bigger. It was either Palm Islands got smaller or this got bigger, but it actually might be that the Palm Islands got smaller. They look a little smaller to me now. And like the stuff in here looks smaller. So yeah, it might have shrunk, which is crazy. This thing, yeah, you know what? I think it did shrink. See there, I did not want it to go that direction. I wanted it out. Yeah, see, like this was, yeah, I think that it did shrink now that I'm looking at it. Well, maybe we'll get it back later. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a symbol that Dubai is on the wane a little bit in this current reality. Yeah, I looked at the wiki to see if it was done. It doesn't look like it's all super done in the last year either. So I remember the islands were decaying already and looked really bad. Wow, that's a bunch of timelines ago for me. So I was like, they never finished them because this and that and the 2008 economy problem. And then the next thing you know, no, we're going to restart them. And then all of a sudden, one was totally done and the other was like a few things done, and then all of a sudden years ago they finished them, and then I got to the wonderland of giant silvery buildings, which flipped me out. That was crazy. And now we kind of reverse back to this. So this is like 5 shifts ago level done. Wet and Wild it is. I have heard that. Yeah, it's some kind of a. It's yeah. I think maybe it is a makeup brand here too. I don't. Yeah, I think it is. So nobody remembers the Wonder World of Silver ones, huh? Maybe that was me only, but I'm like flipping out. Check back in a week, it'll all be silver built. Yeah, but I was already there. Now I'm kind of flipping out. It's gone. Lime green water doesn't look healthy. I don't know. In this timeline, like there's all these different colors, and then they're like, oh, it's this and that bacteria, but it's not always unhealthy. So it used to be like if the water got really stagnant and it would turn bright green and it was nasty, but it's not always the case. Trunk part of the islands were longer. Let's see. Right there I'm at. Yeah, you have a good point. But it's tricky because actually, you know what? I just realized these connect now. Those didn't used to connect. Yeah, those absolutely did not connect. They ended right here. So when these things first showed up, there was just the palm, and then there was these little breakwaters. And then the breakwaters had, this was not connected here either for sure. And they were here, yeah, there was some little bridges, and then these little side things showed up, and then so these have been getting bigger and bigger. So the actual structure on the outside got more robust, like, and now they're super fat. So that is another change. These are fatter and they're connected, and they connect. So it used to be the only way in and out was here, and I don't know what you had to take, like boats out here or something. There was a ferry. I think at some point there was a little tiny like road thingy going, but it actually kind of makes sense that they connect here, because I was always wondering, like, yeah, it's hard to get out to those other places. Okay, so yeah, that is a change though. But yeah, it looks like they're, and then originally the trunk was not so fat, and then it got fatter and fatter, and then this knobs grew out on the end. But yeah, you're right, I think these were a lot longer, and I don't quite think they had this, I don't know, that looks a little different in here. This one doesn't connect though. That's interesting. Okay. That one connects. This one, I wouldn't be so shocked if, okay, this one has the little stinky roads, I guess those are. Yeah, it'd have to be roads. Oh, this is interesting. What is that? Oh, so we're getting what, little docks and stuff now? Okay. Little, I'm not sure if those were there before. These are, okay, this curl thing showed up, but I don't remember this in there. Little changes. But yeah, I do think this has gotten a little thicker on this one. This has gotten thicker, but I agree, this was longer. And I think the palm fronds were longer too. Somehow this looks kind of like a chibi version of the old one. It's like fatter features, but not as long. Especially that one, but this one too. I think this got smaller too, actually. Did that get smaller? Did all this other stuff get larger? Oh, what's this? Oh, so pretty. That, I don't remember that. That's interesting. So what, we have all this and then no, what the heck is that? That reminds me of when you, in America, like at some family restaurants, they will give the family that have kids a little piece of paper that has like, that the kids can color in, and they'll be like mazes and stuff. That's what that looks like. Wow, this is big now. Okay. Mangrove? Seriously? The mangrove. So what, are they going to have mangroves in there? I don't see no mangroves. Maybe them dots? I never even heard of mangroves being in that area, but who the heck knows? All right, this, I think this is way more done than it was before. So maybe that's it. There's been more construction on some of this other stuff, and it's set back the Palm Islands a little. Okay, there was another thing. This island, I think, has gotten bigger since last time I looked. There's more of these little pebble islands. Look, there's a whole bunch over here now. And one of these was called Hormuz Island. I believe it's this one. Yes, Hormuz Island. And this one actually got viral, which, interestingly enough. It doesn't look that interesting, but this is another one of those blood red beaches places. And it's interesting because you'd think it'd look more red around here. So I saw other places in the Iranian area that had the blood red, but I don't remember Hormuz Beach even being there, not to mention having the blood red. So, and it's even, I mean, like, I don't know, have they kind of like overdone the saturation on these or what? But it's effing red, okay? It's like more red than I even remember the other ones. And the beach is more red around it. And I see a lot of images of this thing. Apparently, they took the red sands from the area. And they made like a, I don't know, like a circular artistic thing. Like, I want to say it's a mandala, but I don't know if they do mandalas there. So this is just like human artwork. At least for now, as far as I can tell. Oh, maybe it used to be this. Hold on. Maybe that was it. And then it kind of washed out from the soil carpets. Okay. Let's go over and see soil carpets. The remote colorful island of Iran with the blood beach. The irony there. Extremely arid island in the south of Iran. Oh, cool. Okay, so they're just doing a bunch of art. I have not seen any of this kind of thing before, though. Okay, cool. Stone. Geotourism. Yeah. Rainbow Valley. Okay, these ones are probably more like the real color. I think that's at the salt deposits there. There's like crazy salt deposits now. That one's pretty red. Okay. The other thing is sometimes if your camera isn't good, it might undershow the amount of red. So that's another tricky spot. That's pretty dang red. The Blood Beach is a variety. There are, in the north, there are sandy beaches. In the south, there's narrow, beautiful cliffs. And this is the Red Coast, high iron. Sea waves also colored in red, creating the effect that the bleach is bleeding. So for me, this thing just showed up recently, this Hormuz Island, maybe a few weeks ago. Interesting. So it looks a lot more red in that image. So yeah, I don't know what's up, but there's a lot of islands now. I think they're, the current deal is that the ships that are being allowed to pass have to squeeze through. I think it was this one of these islands. They've got to, instead of going through the middle, maybe it was Keshem. Instead of going through the middle, they've got to, I think maybe it was this one. They've got to go, and there's like a toll booth. You got to pay the toll. So that might be the situation for a while. Because as long as Iran has gajillion missiles, nobody knows how many are hiding under the sands. I don't see how anybody's going to take the strait or go through it safely. There's a lot of rumors that a number of the American ships have been actually hit by missiles, and they don't want to admit it, so they just say things like, oops, we had an accidental fire, like that. Either way, it looks bad. Either we're so stupid that we can't operate our ships without effing it up, or they hit us. I guess they'd rather say that we're so stupid we can't we can't operate our ships. But, and who knows, maybe that's true in some timelines, and in other timelines, Iran hit us. Okay, so one thing I'm really seeing here is this is so big here. This has gotten so big. I don't remember it being, I guess because it got pinched here, and but this is just getting large here. It's getting very large. Gulf of Oman. The whole region is looking bizarre to me right through here. A gajillion islands. This, whatever's going on in here with all this water, this used to be kind of like smooth. Qatar, sticking way out like this. I think that's the way to say it. I never really even heard of Qatar until like 2 years ago. Like, suddenly there are big allies, so I'm kind of confused by the whole thing. Like, maybe Qatar was not a big deal in my old timeline, but now it's really important. So maybe it changed in 2 years. I don't know. But there was no like peninsula looking thing here. So if it was there, it was like, that's shown up even the last few months for me. So I think Americans have trouble saying this because we like to have, like, if we want to say Cotter, but it is just does not sound right, because then it sounds like Cotter, which is not Qatar. But I think we have trouble not having an emphasis on a syllable and having them all clipped and even. But so you'll see a lot of people in America calling that Cotter, because it's just hard especially when you're old and you're used to speaking English. Like, I always it was Iran, we call it. And so I guess it's Iran is more accurate, but this still more and more. Look at all those. Now it was this, now there's all this islands. It looks like we're going to load of them coming here. So getting through these locations is going to be more complicated now, which might add to the narrative with all these bajillion little islands. You can't just sail through anywhere. You got to go around all these islands. And there's all these islands, and you can have defense posts put there. How many more freaking islands are going to show up? Maybe some there. Looks like some are going to, yeah, some showed up here. So I saw some of these like weird little dots before, like they were just like this. See, they were like this. I'm like, what is going on? So a lot of times they're kind of precursors to islands showing up. And there's a lot of them here. A lot. We're going to get like a Mickey Mouse Island in here with these. Yeah, so this is getting pinchier and pinchier. It's going to be easier for Iran to defend. And then this looks like it's getting wider out here. I feel like this is getting wider also. Interesting. This area, the island's getting bigger. Cyprus. Oh, look at this long, skinny thing Cyprus has grown. It's grown a horn. Okay, interesting. I don't remember Cyprus having this big horn. Cyprus is becoming way more of a player, and it's gotten a lot bigger. I mean, look, it's almost as big as Sicily, which got a lot bigger also. Okay. Still no idea what Kazakhstan's going to do on the world stage. I think those were the main two I wanted to discuss. What about that hotel I used to look at? Which one is that? The one at the end of the palm tree trunk? Yeah, I agree. Palms had longer trunks and stems. I don't remember. Yeah, I've actually discussed that with the bay. Hold on. That's the fastest way to get back. Okay, so see, I don't want that. I was discussing I know you're talking about this bay thing, because yeah, that wasn't there, but also where am I gonna find it? This is interesting here. These have been growing in for me, these kind of little chewed out bite areas of bay. Here, this one first showed up, and now there's a baby one there. This is interesting though, because I swear I thought maybe it was over here I was looking at. Maybe it was this one. You know, this whole thing looks... I remember there was a big one and then a little one growing to the right, and now I see a little one with a big one. Is that Chabar? Yeah, Chabahar Bay. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I thought the big one was here and there was a little one here, and the big one was this Chabahar. So there is I do think this is a shift. That one I think was over there. This is also getting more orderly here. So when that first showed up, it was just like rounded out, but now we see that there's like protected corners in here. Same with here, same in here. Okay. This is more structure than I recall. It was just little ones like that before. Okay, it looks like there's a couple more forming over here. I think these are going to pinch in and have protected areas. So they're getting all these little... These weren't here before. That's only half of one, but I wouldn't be surprised if more form. There's one forming there. They're forming all along here, so very useful. This in here, very useful. Little protected bays. That's kind of a thing all over the world. They're growing in. Santa Barbara. Bite is a thing now. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, actually. It is sort of... Okay, I first saw that when Coronado Island was turning into a not island, and there was a section there, and they said that's a bite. And I'm like, oh, what's that? But I think those Those areas are more like bays. I don't think they count as. Let me look at the exact definition of a bite. I had looked this up, but I forgot. Bite definition. The middle or no bite. A bend or curve in a shoreline. That's it. I thought it was more complicated than that. Oh, okay. So that is a bite then? Oh, I think there was a different definition before. Santa Monica Bay. Are those bites? A long gradual bend or resource in the shoreline that forms a large open bay. Okay, so I'm completely wrong on what I thought it was. So those are bites. You are right. So an actual chewed out bite is a bite. Okay. I'm really suspicious if it was always that way, but it is now. Okay. If it changes, it'll be easy to notice because it makes a certain weird sense now. Bays. So it's kind of like an open bay that looks like a chomp. Yeah, I know. The Mediterranean Sea. I know. I know. What's up? Okay. I thought I got rid of the clouds. You know, I say I don't want clouds, and then every time I have to go back there and say I still don't want clouds. Let me see if I can get rid of them again. No. How do I do that again? That's the AI. Tools. Measurement. Contours. View. That was like custom or something. Show historical, show street, base map settings. Maybe it's this. Details, snowboard. Yeah, that's it. Okay. This is the one that had the clouds. So I don't want the animated clouds. Choose your own look and feel. Shoinks. I said I don't want clouds. It is so irritating. All right, once I save this, and you'll see I did not change it. There it is. Okay. It remembers I said no clouds, but yet it was giving me effing clouds. So then I go over there and I just look at it and I don't change anything, and now it won't give me the clouds. This is really just, ugh. And even though it won't give me the clouds, it still like fades the earth a little bit. And I swear to God, every time I come, the amount of fade is a little different too. It's just ridiculous. All right, it's upside down. That's making me crazy. So, Mediterranean. So, part of what's weird is that these two seas, the Black Sea, I believe that's the Caspian, they were over here and smaller, and they're like scooting over here and joining up with the Mediterranean. So, it's making it look like this is now sort of part of the Med, where it used to just be this, and then this like wasn't all tight in here. So it looks like Italy used to come down more like here, and now it's like tripping over. Like the foot is tripping, it's pushing against the side here, the mainland. So that's part of what's making it look like this is all big now, and it pinches in higher than it used to be. And this area has gotten really big. Then I don't remember this like weird bulge down here either. So all of those things are making it look ridiculous. So there was for a while where the Mediterranean started to look really small. And then that was the Mandela. It's gotten too small, but then this new stuff is opened back up. Look at these new lakes starting to darken. Italy is more vertical. Yeah, it's interesting as I'm saying stuff and then I come over here and you were saying it too. Hudson Bay looked like it changed. Let's see. Yep. This thing, I don't remember that being all like that shape and stuff. That's weird. Looks like there's more stuff here. This little pinchy corner. I think it like, I think it's kind of bulged out over here now. This used to be the impressive bulgy spot. Maybe it's a little longer. Yeah, it is different. Wait, what's going on over here? These are all pushed together. This and this. Oh, there was a lot like a separate. Those were more separate, I think. I'm going to have to look at my old drawing. I haven't looked at that in like at least a year. Because I drew these all out from like 8 years ago. I drew these all out. Freehand, not traced, because it seems like traces won't hold still. But it was a pretty accurate, fairly accurate freehand. And it hadn't been moving with this crap. It doesn't show all this. Greenland was still over here. I'll have to see what it says about all this stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. It does look weird. In Vancouver, actually, it was super pushed in, but now there's like a more opening of the waterway here. So I found that interesting too. So originally for me, Vancouver was out here, and then it like slammed into the mainland, and it's almost become one with it. Is it even an island now? It still counts as an island, but I don't even see how hardly. I mean, it looks like there's just a river in here. They're calling this a strait, but whatever. I mean, it's kind of a stretch when all these others are probably rivers. This one's even wider. Is that a river? Butte Inlet. That's how they get out of it. Maybe what constitutes a strait? Is it just got to be really deep or something? Because I mean, like, there was a point where that was a big wide strait, but now I'm like, I don't think so. There's a YT document about Greenland saying measurements from 2025 don't match 2026. I'm assuming they're going to say it's like 10 miles difference or something, though, but still, yeah. Italy was a shoe for me, but not a boot. And it was more like standing instead of like kicked way back. So it's got like these long, it's got like, now it looks like a cowboy boot. Before it just looked like more like a foot. Hudson Bay has a, yeah. Has anyone heard from Vanessa Vaugh? Not that I've heard. Greenland laying on a couch. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Greenland shape, actually, now that I really look at it, I don't think it had this bend in it. It was more like, and it has a little bit more of a swoosh over here. I haven't really been paying that much attention to it. It's definitely getting more green. Used to be 100% white. Then there was just a little green on the edges. Now it's what? I would say 10 or 15% green. Those are pretty cool. Stop it. So, okay. So, I think I'm going to see now. I think I see how Iceland's going to become icy because it's swinging around here. Where is the poles? If it swings around here to the pole more than Greenland, and maybe Greenland will have a bigger surface to kind of trap the heat, and I could see Iceland becoming then icy. Maybe we'll know that we have arrived when Iceland becomes white and Greenland becomes green. So maybe we have a number of years yet to go, but maybe that'll be one of the indicators. And then we'll be in a timeline where we go, well, duh, of course it's green. Why do you think they call it Greenland? Duh. Narbalek, I don't know what that is. Nabarlek. You know, Jackie, I was looking up that beetle that disfigures your face, and they have that in Queensland, just so you know. There's one in Queensland. So it's not just somebody said Vietnam, but there's one in Queensland. France didn't have any islands near Canada. Yeah, there's so many islands now, it's ridiculous. I've seen many kangaroos. They do exist, but now they're just weirdly buff. Yeah, I know. Like all those cartoons where they showed them like boxers all buffed up. And now they are like those cartoons. It's crazy. They were just ordinary animals. They didn't look like they like lifted weights before. Antarctica has moss. Yeah, those weird roving moss balls. I have had those on. Those are bizarre. Antarctica. Roving moss. See if it's still there. There was big balls of roving moss. Where's it now? Where did they go? Dang, that's a lot of moss. Moss. There was a storyline where the moss would mysteriously migrate. Is that gone? Or is it just now wall-to-wall moss? Let's see. Newstead explains moss migration across the globe. Oh, that story might be gone now. Ooh, kitties. How does moss survive? Here. Herds of moss mysteriously roam. Herds of moss. Oh, they're tiny though? These were big ones. The moss isn't propelled by a slope, the wind, or the sun, but the group moves in sync. Yeah, these are like teeny tiny glacier mice. Glacier mice weren't like that little bitty. They were big. Glacier mice, that's what it was. Small and fluffy. They were big. Oh my God. This is just crazy. I mean, I know they're called mice, but they were big. Glacier mice. Globular moss colonies. I better see some big ones or I'm losing it. That's more like it. Colony of moss is found on some glaciers and adjacent ecosystems. Okay, so now they're not just on the snow. They're composed of multiple species. Oh, they're not just in Antarctica now. They have spread to Alaska, Chile, Greenland, Iceland, Svalbard, Uganda, Venezuela, And sub-Antarctic islands. What the hell are those? Sub-Antarctic islands. Sub-Antarctic islands. I guess so. Surrounding islands. Interesting. I wonder if those are going to play more of a role. Okay, so they're everywhere now. These glacier mice have spread. All right, I'm going to write that down. Guess you shouldn't be surprised. Mice are always reproducing rapidly. Even the glacier mice made of moss. Notable for their movement across the ice, which appears to be non-random and herd-like and is unexplained. It does not appear to be solely the product of wind or direction of slope. The use of accelerometers has demonstrated glacier mice do in fact rotate and roll rather than simply sliding across the ice. Measurements of glacier mice show that they retain heat and moisture, creating suitable ecosystems for microorganisms. They are believed to persist for 6 years or longer. First described in 1950. They should be bigger though. I remember big pieces of like big. They look like they're more mouse-sized here. This is interesting. Those are mouse-sized. Yes. Okay, so they are smaller, but there are a lot more of them. How come every image sucks? Okay. Interesting. Maybe it was easier to phase in when they were larger because people could kind of think that they saved their own heat or something. Now they're actually mouse-sized. Look at how many. Snowless areas, which is weird in itself. Okay. Pool-type icebergs. I've not heard of pool-type icebergs. There's always something new under the sun. Ice worms. I've had those on, ice worms. Let me see what they're up to. Okay, looks about the same. Okay, wait a minute. Contrary to popular myths, they do not grow 50 feet long. I've never heard of any myths saying they grow 50 feet long. Nor did they give glacier ice its blue color. I have never heard of that. They are typically 1 to 3 centimeters long. Okay, well that's what I found when I looked last time. Why are some glaciers covered? I wonder if there's there's a lot of them now. Ugh. Can you imagine you go to the snow and there's like 10 bajillion freaking worms? Ugh. Okay, so they don't look like they've changed a lot. There's just more of them. Moss has definitely changed because in my original timeline, it couldn't like go dormant and then come back. So my house now has permanent moss. It goes dormant in the summer when it's really freaking hot. I mean, we don't even get that much rain here, so it wasn't a place that would really be conducive to moss. Or basically like a desert-like area with a little rain in the winter, and that's it. And then it's freaking hot. So I used to have lichen all over the roof, orange lichen. And, we blasted it all off with the water blaster, which is a heck of a job. And then it would grow back, and it was growing back. And I felt bad because I hadn't water blasted it off, but I just was not up to it. And then it mysteriously all disappeared. There's no lichen now. There never has been orange lichen all over roofs. Because you used to see other roofs getting it too. And I even had a job where I got paid to blast so much orange lichen off that the entire tile roof looked orange. And when we blasted it off, it was a whole nother color. So I mean, we spent what? I spent like 3 days water blasting off that lichen. But I mean, I guess now what? It never existed? I don't know. So we do get moss on the roof, but I don't, and it just grows in the shady part of the roof in the winter. And I guess it can just be dormant for years, and then when the rain hits, it springs back to life. So I like moss, so I'm okay with that. I like it better than the orange lichen, I'll tell you that. And I could probably, how do I make that go away? I could probably poison it or something, I guess, but I'm happy to have the moss. I don't think it's really hurting anything, so. Beached moss pods had more fanciful detail. I don't know what's a beached moss pod. Beached moss pods. Oh, okay. Some kind of weird thing with 6 legs. Pods growing off Christmas moss. Okay, let me just check that thing first. That's their reproductive organ? So I can see why they're confused, because you have this plant for like 10 or 15 years, and then suddenly you go out there one day and there's a bunch of weird crap on it. And then you just find out that's its flower, and you're like, what? And that's happening to a lot of people. Okay, these are okay, they're fictional. All right, so I don't know. They're fictional for now. Whatever. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. All right. All right, I think we're done with Google Earth for now. Oh, nope, I wasn't done. I forgot one thing. Hold on, let me start over. I wonder if it'll give me the clouds again. Explore Earth. Let's see. Does it give me... Yes, see? See? The clouds are back. Oh, that's weird. There's a split line right there. I don't remember ever seeing that split line. Ah. I guess it's just a big cutout rectangle thing or something. But okay, so let's see. We want... We did Rock of Gibraltar before, but it's still kind of tripping me out. So apparently now, let me see if I can... This is the Rock of Gibraltar, but the whole mountainy thing has spread all the way along here. It's not just this anymore. So it kind of doesn't really make sense, because there used to just be one big jiggy-jaggy rock sitting out in the ocean, all minding its own business. So it made sense that there's a huge rock. But now it's just a part of whatever this is. And I don't know if it's all the Rock of Gibraltar, or it's a Gibraltar mountain range, or like, what is this? So if you look at it from this one angle, then it kind of looks like the old rock, kind of, but you can see the buildup here has gotten crazy. So this landing strip is way bigger. All this stuff out here is way bigger, and it's just I don't even know what to say. It's just ridiculous now. Let's see if we can look at it from below. Doink. Okay, let me just try looking at it from there. Okay, look back at the rock. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? Okay, hold on. Okay, but there you could kind of see it's kind of. Can I see it from here? There. Now you can kind of see that. It didn't used to have all this stuff in front of it, but that's the old rock, but now it just like keeps going, and I don't even know, like, why would you just call that the rock when it's just like a kind of little mini mountains or something? It's just weird. Oh, what, they're digging into it? Oh, interesting. I was not what I was planning to look at, but okay. What's up with all this cracky stuff? I think I broke it. Oh, it's got a lot of... What the heck am I even looking at? Oh, look, there's all kinds of stuff on the side now. Get rid of the little men. Ah, so they built houses all along the side of it? Looks like it. Okay. Oh, there's houses on the top. So some time ago I was like, hey, look, there's a road up here, but there wasn't like whatever this is. Radar dishes. What is that? I don't know. It's crazy up here now. See, it just keeps going. What are these square things? I saw those last week. Gibraltar cable car upper station, skywalk. All right, they're calling that Gibraltar Rock on that side. Isn't this Gibraltar Rock over here? Gibraltar, Rock of Gibraltar, famous promontory with tunnels. With tunnels! Okay, so it's... The Rock of Gibraltar is just a promontory now. And, yeah, I don't know. Crazy. Okay, so it's not really its own separate rock. There's a lot of weird stuff here where they've scraped this, too. I've never seen that before. I don't know, rocks falling down or, like... Basically, it looks like they scraped the rock flat, and it looks like crap. Like, what's going on here? I don't know why they did that. Yeah, anyway, so, just crazy. The Rock of Gibraltar is basically morphing into just a promontory on the side of mountains. It used to be a massive lump of rock out in the ocean away from land. Correct. For me, that is correct. The Eagle has landed, had the Rock of Gibraltar. They used hang gliders to escape on it. Been to Gibraltar. The caves are on the wrong side. I don't remember any caves. I don't know. I it was out in the ocean, and there was like there was no buildings around it or nothing. I don't even think you could have gotten hardly to it. And now it's I don't know. Okay, all right. So that's actually what I wanted to say. Hormuz. Oh, there's one more for me. All right. Maybe I'll go through yours for a while. All right. So I got a bunch from Jackie. I guess Australia just had another weird, creepy red skies, and they were saying it's because a typhoon was coming. For me, Australia didn't used to get typhoons because the water was not warm enough out there. They're not tropical, they're subtropical. But now you get typhoons, and now apparently redness can come before a typhoon. And we're just talking really red, not just a little effing red. Shut that off. I mean, that's apocalyptic red there. I would be freaking out. I would be super freaking out, okay? So apparently it was because of this. Dust storms caused such apocalyptic scenes. So perhaps, oh wait, tropical cyclone Narelle made landfall. Rare for a storm to make landfall in 3 Australian states and territories, with the last 2 being Cyclone Ingrid in 2005 and Cyclone Steve in 2000. Dust storms and wildfires have caused such apocalyptic scenes in the past, so perhaps the fix was onto something when they wrote Red Skies. I think they're meaning red skies at night. If you remember that song. I do often think of that song when I just see weird colors like the very weird sunsets. So it's interesting that they brought that up. So there's a million excuses for red skies now, but they're mostly blaming it on dust. So they're saying that the cyclone kicked up a bunch of dust. So normally, like, the rain with the cyclone tamps down the dust. So I guess they're saying that before the rain got there, there was enough wind to pick up enough dust. This is a lot of effing dust, though. I mean, we've had high winds here before, and we didn't get that much dust. So, like, do you guys have, like, blood red soils over there, like Iran has now? Red skies at night, sailors' delight. Yeah, I don't know, but there was no, like, actual science behind that. Maybe there is now. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. So, like, I would see maybe a tiny little glow of red in the morning, and that was my timeline. And now it's freaking red in the morning. Like, the sunrises are almost as good as the sunsets. It's crazy. Australia does have a lot of dark red sand. Yeah, I guess the Mandela is putting it to good use now. Crimson and clover over and over. Yeah, the crimson part. Okay, so Australia getting cray. Okay, this was the thumbnail. It's this weird plant, and I'm just really interested in this plant. So it's the snake gourd, and this is different. Like, when they come out, when they first grow, they're like whitish, and then they're like, some of them get like this green stripy. It looks like they get green stripes for a while, like this. So here's a bunch with the green stripes. But then when they're getting towards the end, then they turn like red, and sometimes they get curly like snakes, and sometimes they don't. And then this is like immature here. So you eat them when they're immature like this. And they said they're, so here's some that are very curly. Snake gourd. So I've been trying to figure out what's up with these things, because you can see there's all different images. There's a beautiful red one. This one's got some stripes, but some not stripes. But see, all of them are Trichosanthus cucumarina. Here's an orange. I would guess that one's going to get more red. See, white ones, striped ones, kind of striped ones. Here's the flowers. Why are these ones all pinchy and the other ones weren't? So there's different cultivars. So this one is supposed to show different ranges of like fresh, like newer ones. Then there's some stripy, curly ones that are mid-range, and then they turn red. So it's all the different, which is crazy. So there's a lot coming off. Now here's the thing. These effing things supposedly can grow up to like 2 meters, which is like 6 feet. So they'll be taller than I am. And so you need a really good trellis system. Here's some. Now, like, why are these little short ones got red, but these got really long? The other weird thing is there's really not much information or photos on these. I mean, like, I found some, but I'm surprisingly little, because like, why did these ones curl around and come back up? Why is this one fat? Look at that. Is that an AI, or is it really like that? Why did it curl around? I mean, it is a snake gourd, but why? That one got all curly. It doesn't look like they forced it to. So, like, if I grow these, can I, like, maybe if I poke them, will they grow like that? Because that's, like, really cool. There's some snake gourds. There's the seeds. There's the flower. And supposedly, these are just grow all over the place, because they grow in both tropical and subtropical. And apparently they grow great in my area. And they're annuals, so you would grow them like beans, where you plant them in the early spring. And apparently they can barf out a 6-foot effing pod. And here's the thing, they're edible when they're younger, and then when they're older, they still are, they just don't taste that good. But then when they're older, they use the inner pulp, and I guess it's like tomato pulps, like it's like that, mucilaginous tomato-y stuff that's in there. And then the leaves are edible. It's eaten immature as a vegetable, much like summer squash. And in Africa, the reddish pulp of mature snake gourd is used as an economical substitute for tomato. I mean, you got a 6-foot pod full of edible tomato sauce stuff? That's a pretty good deal. Common names: snake gourd, serpent gourd, kichinda, padwal, snake tomato. Found wild across much of South and Southeast Asia, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, and southern China. It is also regarded as native in northern Australia. So that's for you. And then also it's naturalized in Florida, parts of Africa, and on various islands in the Indian Pacific Oceans. It doesn't say anything about California. But I looked it up, and it says it grows great in like slightly inlandish California, because you plant it after the frost. It likes it when it's effing hot. It likes a crap load of sun. We got that. So you plant it in the boiling sun, and the only thing you got to do is make sure you water it a lot. Doesn't look like it's too picky on soil. Let's see. And then they were saying you could eat the leaves too. Where is that? Description. Okay, so there's they got big leaves. Okay, well, the flowers like that. Yeah, so it's pretty big leaves. They said it's pretty nutritive when I was looking it up. Snake gourd refers to the twisted fruit. The fruit becomes too bitter to eat as it reaches maturity. It sounds like if you cook it after it's bitter, then that kills all the bitter. So maybe that's how they use it as tomato. They take it out and cook it. Dried gourds were traditionally used as a soap substitute. You know, I tried so far hard to find images of the dried gourds and I just couldn't find any. And look at these immature ones. They look like little white things. It's so bizarre. And that's a mature one. It doesn't even look like it's the same thing. Flower. That's a pest that it gets. Some immature ones. There's some, those are immature, but more mature than the white ones, I guess. Still in edible range. Okay, so you get the idea. So yeah, I really wanted to see what the dried ones look like, and I saw that it said something about the soap. Let me see if I can find that. 11. That's not real helpful. I don't think there's going to be images on that. So I don't know. Do you guys know of this thing? I kind of feel like maybe it's just new or something because I am not finding much information on it. I'm not finding as many images as I would expect because these are really cool. Couldn't find any images of dried gourd. It's called a snake gourd. So my feeling is that if it's a snake, if it's a gourd, it's going to have like a, you know, like regular gourds make like a neat husk that is hard and they, you know, they can carve on it and like that. So can imagine a 6 foot long, weird snaky gourd would be pretty cool. You'd think they'd sell these everywhere. Apparently they grow quite readily. I looked on Etsy and I found a few sort of snake-like gourds called snake gourd, but they were painted in the shape, like a design of a snake. So I'm not sure when they say snake gourd if it actually came from a snake gourd plant or if it's just a snake on a gourd. It was not clear. And there was only a couple of them. They weren't like super long. So they could be some other gourd, which is not very helpful at all. I would think that if there's something like this and it's a gourd, literally could not find any images of dried ones. You would think that like there would be, like they're showing a range of ages. Maybe there should be some dried ones hanging on there with the other ones. Look at how it turns differentially red, too. It's just, I don't know. Snake gourd scourge exotic seeds. Okay. Okay, I think they peeled it open. Ooh, it's all red inside and orange. That's so cool. I'm going to have to read up more on these. I'm not even sure if these are AI or not. It kind of looks a little AI-y. Ooh, are those dried ones? I think they're actually immature because they're still white. Anyway, so they're super edible in various stages. They did say you could eat the leaves, like the immature leaves are edible too. I mean, this is a super edible plant. It's all over the place. It grows in so many places. Should have heard about it, right? I've seen the green, very long ones before it was sold in the supermarkets, but the white ones are unknown. Yeah, I guess that's just the immature form. I don't know. Flowers are pretty. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I'll get some seeds. I want to do a little bit more research on if there's cultivars. Maybe we'll try growing them because we're getting to, I should be growing them like right now because I think we're past the frost, right? Probably should have started already, but I'll think I'll order some in and we'll give it a shot. All we need is one to grow to adulthood and seed, and then we'll have a bajillion seeds. So yeah, I'll have to get on that tonight. All right, so snake gourd. Jackie found snake gourd. So yeah, Australia, they're native in Australia. They're considered native in Australia. Okay. So this is another weird one that Jackie found, fairy shrimp. So apparently, if you've heard of sea monkeys, those little shrimps that that we feed to like fish, and they used to have like a little kit where you would hatch the eggs in the salt water. Well, there's a freshwater version of sea monkeys, and it's these things. They're fairy shrimps. So these are kind of creepy because they got this like weird butt, but they're shrimps. I'll show you them swimming. So yeah, kind of cute. Now these things, they can get up to like 6 inches in some ponds, but usually that's like more like 1 or 2 inches. So what's bizarre about these is they're sort of like the sea ones. Like they exist in vernal pools, like temporary pools where there's no fish because it dries up during the summer, and then these just like pop out from seed or whatever. Eggs, I guess, would be the word. Not seeds, but they pop out from eggs and they grow in these little ponds. And I've not heard of these, but these are like everywhere. There was mentions like everybody knows these or something. I'm like, no, I've never heard of fairy shrimp. They live in vernal pools, in hypersaline lakes across the world. They've been found in deserts, ice-covered mountain lakes, Antarctic ice. So I didn't even catch that earlier. So they're in Antarctica. Most have 20 body segments, bearing 11 pairs of leaf-like phylopodia. Swimming legs. They swim upside down and feed by filtering organic particles. With the exception of Branchinecta gigas, or giant fairy shrimp, I think that's that 6-incher, which is itself a predator of other species of these shrimp. So it's a predator on other little shrimps. They are an important food for many birds and fish, and some are cultured and harvested for use as fish food. There are 300 species across 8 families. Yeah, this one, Branchinecta gigas, reaches 6.7 inches long. Yeah. Let's see, where does that one found at? Branchinecta gigas. Alberta, so Canada, Montana, Oregon, California. That's such a load. It does not. It's not. I used to live in Northern California. They did not have those. You're lying. There's some more of them. So these things are everywhere. The freshwater, vernal pool, shrimpies are everywhere. Oh, so what? They have them in the San Francisco Bay salt ponds, which themselves are a Mandela for me. Ugh, anatomy drawings. Ew, look at that one with that big snout thingy. Ugh, creepy, creepy. All right, so there we go. Fairy shrimp are everywhere. Yeah, sea monkeys with the saltwater one, and they would come with a packet of the salt that you would add to the water. But now we've got these things. Don't need no salt. Why didn't we just have these then? Facehugger vibes. 6 inches. 6 inches. That's as, like, yes, that's as big as a big hand. Like, that's this big. It is facehugger size. Yeah, I think you probably need a little bigger for a facehugger. But, you know, we're early in the game here with these, so. Lobster was for the poor. Yeah, so apparently, do they eat these? Let me see. Did those gigas, did they eat those? Yeah. Gross. Gigas. Let me find those gigas again. Are they edible? Why not? That's a big shrimp. A 6-inch shrimp? Giant fairy shrimp. They're not edible? It doesn't say. That's interesting. There's no image of it. Why would there be no image of it? Wait, it says 3.4 inches here. Didn't it say 6 inches over where we came from? Wait a minute. I thought that it said 6 inches over here, didn't it? Can grow up to 6.7 inches long. Okay, but then when I click on that, it says 3 inches. So, let me see if I can find an image of these things. Ugh. Look at that. Oh, it's got a creepy snout. Okay. How about some video? Gigas. Alright, that doesn't look that big. Those are kind of cool. Why is it that when something is kind of white and translucent, it looks way less creepy? You can't really, it doesn't look like, it's not no 6 inches. It doesn't even look like it's 2 inches. Maybe these are not done developing yet. Large fairy shrimp. That's not really definitive definition of the species. Why is that one spinning around? That's kind of, oh, okay, there we go. No, it just spins around. So it's got these like weird, oh, that one's got a red butt. All right, not creepy at all. That butt thing is the creepy part. Oh, and bright red eyes. Yes, not creepy at all. Why is that thing spin around? Okay, the alkali fairy shrimp has a giant creepy pinchy things on the front. Okay. Canada and the United States. Those do look like they're pretty big. These guys prefer cooler temperatures. Well, heck, you know what? If you can have them in freaking Antarctica, they can live anywhere. I think that one, okay. So they looks like they're going to be, I have a feeling that we're going to get colors because each one of these is getting, like, this one's got some kind of green going on the tail. Some of them have some red going on. I feel like these are pretty new. What is it with these big clutchy fronts, too? Look, it's got huge, like, elephant trunks. They better be edible if they're going to be big. See, this is not the ocean, Vivian. This is fresh water. We're on fresh water now. That's why it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the reality can't decide what it's doing, because you're right. It didn't look like they were swimming upside down, did they? I don't know what. Yeah, it looks like the little legs are below, right? That one was like broken and just swimming around weirdly. All right, what are those little things? Males have 2 long second antennae. Okay, so those are the males. They have 2 long second antennae. Not creepy at all. Okay, and then this is the female that doesn't have the giant creepy antenna. And the tips are rounded and notched. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Not at all. And the others have a very long first antenna. Oh, here they have the... All right, we don't need to hear all of the creepy details, right? All right, that one is swimming upside down. I guess if you had giant schlong-like second antenna, you would maybe want to swim upside down also. Okay, so did they just kind of swim any old way? That one's swimming upside down. That's a female. You know, it's weird because you said that they look like they were all swimming normally, and then right after that, all of the video shows very clearly them swimming upside down. Uh, look, I swear, I did not see them swimming upside down when I first clicked. Now they all very clearly are. Yeah, the Mandela's like, oh yeah, right. We said that they're supposed to swim upside down, so like barf up some image of them swimming upside down. I think you caught the Mandela like slacking. I don't like any kind of deep, creepy water. Yeah, Vivian, except for these are shallow vernal pools, so they're like big puddles. Not deep, creepy water at all. Nice try, though. You're like, no, they're way over there. Oh, sorry. No, they're not. Like along the edges of rivers and anywhere that there's big, like lots of rain that makes a big puddle. I don't even like swimming pools. Yeah, I'm not going into ducks. I'm not going into ducks. Yeah. I avoid all water. Can't trust anything anymore. All right. Okay, that's why they have that. It looks like Darth Vader's mask or something. Okay, this one I think is zooming in because I keep hearing about it. I heard about it a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden here it is again. And then Jackie brought this one up. She also brought up the ferry trip. That there, okay, so what she found is this business with the second Sphinx. Is there a second Sphinx beneath the pyramids of Giza? I've never heard of this. The claims that a second massive Sphinx statue lays buried beneath it draws tens of millions of views across the social media. Gone viral, blah. I've never heard of it. Okay. Then talking about radar scans and megastructure. Okay, so this megastructure thing, that I have been seeing pretty good evidence for, that this guy had heard about an ancient megastructure, and then he went and investigated it, and there are diggings in the past where they found like what they thought was the foundation of the old megastructure. Like there's a lot of evidence that it used to exist in this timeline. I don't think in the old ones, but and then when he found this foundation, he's like, that's where it used to be, and it's gone now except for the foundation. But then all this side scan radar business and stuff suggests, in fact, that is more like just one floor missing off the top, and that it goes down a bunch of levels. So that would be like more like a roof that he found. He found the floor. He thought he found the floor, but it was the roof. And then there's like this whole narrative that like Egypt is hiding it, and they're secretly investigating on their own. And then there's another narrative that's not on here. Then that narrative is that the waters, due to like some dams that Egypt put in to dam up and control the Nile, has causing the water table to rise, and the rising water table is damaging all these ancient artifacts, and that's why Egypt doesn't want to talk about the underground stuff, because they don't want to admit they're damaging their ancient artifacts. I think it's all just a big narrative for the timeline, but whatever. So now, though, that dream stele, which is that slab between the Sphinx paws, which I am not sure have been there forever, but it has been there for a while, shows two sphinxes. And here it is. Okay, so it's basically split, and there's one here, and then there's one here. So I don't know if it says something on there that says there's two, but they're just saying it appears to show two. I have never actually really looked on there what was written on the dream stele, so I can't say if that's changed, but there's two, and I think we're going to get this, at least something with this mega structure, just because it keeps showing up. Okay, so then it's like, well, no, it's debunked because there's no confirmed archaeological evidence. No confirmed, but I have seen confirmed archaeological evidence. No excavation has taken place. Yes, because they won't allow it. No peer-reviewed study has validated the findings. Yes, because you can't excavate or investigate, so then you can't have peer review. Egyptian authorities have not approved or announced any such discovery. Yes, because they're blocking investigation. So that has long been a narrative that they're secretly blocking investigation. And I suspect that some of it is just like, this is how the timeline hides the shifts, that, they were, the reason you didn't know about them, even though they're right there, is because that evil Zawahi Hawass, I think he's now Zahi, used to be Zawahi, that evil Zahi Hawass is hiding it for his own nefarious purposes, to hog all the fame and hide the rising water table. That's the latest thing. Rumors suggesting presence of columns beneath the pyramid of Khafre are nothing but fabrications. That's what he's saying. Anyways, they've ruled it false because there's no evidence, because they refuse to let you search. But there is evidence in this timeline that I've seen, some pretty good evidence, including a lot of, there's records that it was there. There are records from other countries talking about visiting there. The location was known. It's been investigated. They found what they thought was the bottom floor. The people in the area say that there's way more under there. There's pretty good evidence in this timeline. So I think we're going to see more on that probably. It's coming. So yeah, this is what Jackie found with the second Sphinx, but that whole mega structure thing. So this thing is supposed to be way bigger than like the Sphinx and all this. It's supposed to be absolutely insanely huge under there. So it's going to like beat out the rest of the Giza stuff, basically, if it shows up. We got to keep, upping the ante of the crazy. See, the thing is, for me, with the loads of stuff, for me, they did a whole bunch of side scan radar and stuff like 40 years ago or something, 30 years ago. And the only thing they found was that there was some mysterious, they called it, pockets under the right Sphinx's paw. No, there's a chamber. Maybe there's a chamber under the Sphinx's paw. And there was some mystery about that. But now, there's always been like tunnels and all kinds of crap under there that have long been known. And so that wasn't even, and it was the same narrative. And that means Zawahi Hawass will not let us investigate for some mysterious reason and a blah. And then now that's like gone, and it's replaced with a whole bunch of tunnels that have always been there. So that's like the narrative, the mean old Zawahi Hawass. Now we're adding in the, the rising water tables. How many Sphinx statues will be like bigger and bigger and bigger. They'll find that the Rock of Gibraltar was like a giant Sphinx or something. The Chamber of Secrets. So, I don't know. It's just, I think you just gotta laugh because it's just ridiculous. Okay, but this is not so funny. Apparently these creepy rove beetles, they if you get their like body fluids on you, it's super nasty, like toxin or something. And that's these, and they're all over the freaking place. Let's see, where are they? It's called Pederast dermatitis. So the worst thing is you don't feel it at first, and then later it gets you. So like it's like poison oak. You feel fine, and then 12 to 36 hours, you get this nasty rash and blisters and crusting and scaling. May last from 2 to 3 weeks. And then since you don't know that there's any problem, you might itch and then maybe you'll rub your eye and now you got it in your eye and on your face. And so that's when they say it could be disfiguring because it spreads. So like that's why this guy's got two, because if you go like that and look down, then stuff from here gets onto there, and then and it's this beast, adult beetles in the genus Paterus or whatever. So yeah, you won't know there's any problem, so you could touch lots of different parts of your body. Treatment, steroids, antibiotics. So apparently, let's see, research group suggests LED lights may be solution to prevent acid fly attacks. Okay, so they get attracted to human areas. 3 different types of rove beetles. The toxin is called pterin. It's highly toxic, more potent than cobra venom. Different species. Okay, so we got some in India, Karnataka. You've got some in South America. It's called El Podo. There's Venezuelan ones. Northern provinces along the Caspian Sea. And Pteris australis in Queensland and the Northern Territory. And Pteris crenticolis in southern New South Wales. Nairobi fly in Central and East Africa. Also found in Nigeria, France, Okinawa, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, Vietnam, blah, 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 Ethiopia. You are so screwed if you have these. This is gross. Okay, so they're little guys. They do not sting or bite, but a very small number of species cause skin irritation and blisters when accidentally brushed or crushed. So basically, if they're on you and you're like, get off, that would be enough to get the blister chemical. So they're calling it's like acid, except for it doesn't show up, the pain doesn't show up till 12 hours later. Blister beetles, they're calling them. Washed with soap and water if contact occurs. There's not a lot of info on them considering how nasty they are. So anyway, Jackie found that, and ew. I want Coke. It's Diet Coke. There are beautiful creatures, and then there's a bunch of horrible creatures. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard that story about what some bug was like trying to mate with the beer bottles in Australia. I don't know, that showed up like 2 years ago. I'm like, I'm really suspicious. Another one of those weird new timeline stories. Male jewel beetles attempting to mate with the beer bottle. So I didn't have jewel beetles in the 80s. Those showed up maybe 10-ish years ago. So that's probably why I didn't have that story. Okay, so we got the yuck. Yeah, I was looking at Mount Rushmore. I was trying to see if anything had really changed, and then I realized that it was time to start the show, so I stopped looking at it. So I'll just take a glance and we can see if anything looks different. So Jackie was looking, and the official story now is that they were meant to have bodies and they didn't finish. My initial impression was that they had designed it with bodies and then just kind of decided, well, we're never going to get the bodies. We got the heads, we're done. But now they're calling it unfinished. Unfinished. Okay, this is them while they're still working on it. Oh, this is interesting. I feel like his head has poked out a little bit more again. Now maybe the other image people were standing more to the left, but his head does seem like it came around the corner more. Oh, I need to find better image. Is that a modern image? Oh, interesting. Hold on. Oh, that's interesting because there's like this a lot of scrapes now. It's almost like he's got a cloak on. I don't remember all that scrapies. That's bizarre. I don't remember that at all. Okay, hold on. Scrapies. Yep. Ooh, this one has a lot of detail. But it won't let me. Why is it that some of them let you zoom and some won't? Is that the one I just did? I think it is. Up to, I was going to say, why does that one have all the flags? Apparently that's a thing now, that they've got a bajillion effing flags on the walkway. I've never seen any images with a bajillion effing flags, but now many of them have that. It seems like the path up there is kind of upgraded itself. You know, I wonder if it's getting shifty because I don't see any decent images close up. Why is the side of his face all brown? That's interesting. That's scrapey through there. I don't remember seeing that either. Alright, why can't I find a decent image here with... I'm trying to find one with enough pixels. Pixels! Ooh, let me just try Google. Maybe they'll have something. Anyway, we're almost at 2 hours, so I'll just do this one and then we'll call it. Yeah, this is what I was working on. Not very well detailed. Why sensible? Probably won't let me zoom. Oh, it will. It will. Okay. We still have the magic mystery gun thingy over here. Trying to see if there's any major changes. Probably Washington is coming out more. I swear Lincoln's face looks different every time I look. For a while he looked angry. Now he sort of looks like smirky, like, I don't know, like he smelled something bad or something. It's like weird expression. Serious expression, dreamy expression, serious expression, serious lip pursed, and this is kind of like the ew, I smell something bad. So the expressions always look different to me. So, yeah, scraping goes all the way down. Maybe the scraping was there, but the color of the mountain wasn't so suddenly different as it is now. That might be it. Like, if the color was like this, then you wouldn't really notice the scraping. But now you notice it. Ah, that's nice. Oh, boy, there's a lot of steps over here. It's very unfinished. Here, similar, and there's like a weird patch or something. It's almost like there's bricks in there now. I think they just did a weird, like, scrapey pattern, but still, doesn't it look like stacked bricks? The one thing I would say is I don't remember this hair locks being right here with this. I think it was more over here. And like his hair is undone over here now. I'm quite sure those hair locks weren't right next to that. I don't remember seeing a big lump there. So that fits a little bit more with the undone storyline. You see here, it's not really finished. Same with here. With some clothing, a beginning of a cravat here. Interesting. I don't think we had that before. Same here. There's like a beginning of the starting of clothing down here. And I don't think we had all this scraping down here. This much scraping over here. I don't think that that was there. This scraping. So, yeah, the head's less done, but there's lower regions of scraping down here. I don't see anything really different, though. I don't know if you guys do. Why is Lincoln square-headed? Yeah, because this, I think it's just because this isn't done now. Yeah, it is kind of weird across the top here, too. I agree with you on that one. It's like he's got this. Yeah, huh. That is a thing. That is weird. Screw looking at American news. I feel like American news is all gaslighting now. Like, we're told the war is like done. Iran is defeated. Like what? Well, why are they still shooting missiles then? Why do they still have control of the Gulf of Hormuz or the Straits of Hormuz if they're defeated? Then he's like, well, we should be done, in a week or two. I'm like, yeah, we're just now probably gonna land somewhere between 8,000 and 20,000 troops. Like, we don't even know. We don't know what they're going to do. Most experts have no idea how they could accomplish anything without getting bombed and drone bombed to smithereens. I keep thinking, do they got some kind of secret, super smart weapon or plan, or are they just dumb as F? Or is that why they're stalling? Because they get down there and they're like, what the F can we do? But however you want to look at it, Saying we're almost done when we're just starting to land troops probably is like absolutely ridiculously insane. Gaslighting. I would anybody fall for that? I don't know. This is just becoming obvious so that people could wake the f up. But yeah, I would say it's an April Fool's joke, but he pretty much says something like that every day or two. It's all cinema, yeah. Peak cinema, as the young kids say. Like, this is ridiculous. Nostradamus. I don't know. Even the Nostradamus stuff has changed so much for me. It's like a total Emmy for me. So, like, what? The strong delusion? Is that what we're at here? I mean, if you can't see that this is all ridiculous, especially the president's speeches, is utterly ridiculous. I mean, you can't get any more ridiculous than saying we've won when we haven't even really started and we haven't accomplished anything. And he's like, "Oh, we're almost done with our mission goals." I'm like, "What mission goals?" Because as far as I know, the mission goals change every 5 minutes and have been said to be to prevent them from nukes, which is ridiculous because you know what? If Iran still exists, then they can just get nukes from freaking Russia or Pakistan or something. I'm sure Russia would be happy to help them out. So you're never going to stop Iran from getting nukes because the tech is right over there in Russia, and Russia is going to cough it up. Russia has a long-standing relationship with helping them build the civilian nuclear facilities too. So they're like, "Oh, we're going to stop them from enriching uranium." I think it is. I'm like, they could just get it from Russia then. So what? Then we're gonna regime change. Okay, well, we bombed all the regimes, so now we've accomplished that. No, because it's the same regime. It's just lower-ranking people are promoted. So like, what was none of the goals, exactly none of the goals have been accomplished, unless your goals are to have all of your bases in the Gulf bombed to smithereens and lose control of the Gulf of Hormuz, because I'm pretty sure those weren't part of the plan. So it's obviously ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Exactly zero of their whatever plans they may have had have been accomplished. Utter gaslighting. So I just kind of noticed this. It's not just at the political level, but I have noticed lately that people will just tell me narratives like one after the other, different ones, hoping like I'll believe one of them. Like if they keep throwing them at me, then maybe the third or fourth one will sound plausible to me. But I'm like, even if it did, if you just said 3 or 4 other narratives right before, like minutes before, how do you expect me to believe that fourth or fifth one? Even if it is plausible, I'm not going to believe it. I mean, are people believe? It seems like maybe people will believe anything now. I don't know. Trump was talking about the new president of Iran. It's the same guy for the past 2 years. So I don't know what it is about American media, and I guess it's better for their hate-mongering narrative to say that the Shah of Iran controls the whole country like a dictator. And they don't want to talk about like that there's elections and a president, and they've like reinstated that whole system for some time now, and that the Shah was basically mostly retired. He's getting old. He's in the 80s. And he would just do his spiritual thing, but he wasn't really involved in the running of the country that much. And that truth gets in the way of like, oh, Shah is an evil dictator, blah, 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 So you can't have a president in elections and stuff if there's an evil dictator. And then if somebody tries to bring up those elections, oh, well, they were all rigged, blah, blah, blah. There's no evidence for it. But most people have no idea that there was a president. Sometimes mentioned in passing. So that is part of the issue. I'm starting to realize like how much the narrative is carefully manipulated, though. It's the same thing with Russia. Like they act like Putin, like it's still a dictatorship and Putin can have whatever he wants. No, he has to get all that stuff past their Congress. So he can't just do whatever he wants. But if you're going to hate on them, it's just more convenient to have this evil dictator narrative. Ancient artifact containing mysterious spirits of the dead message. Are we sure it's not like a hoax? Let's see. Ancient Roman marble grave marker. In Latin, spirits of the dead, phrase, spirits of the dead, was discovered in October 2025 by a family cleaning their overgrown backyard in New Orleans. In Latin, spirits of the dead, it sounds like a grave marker, certainly. Identified as the tombstone of a Roman sailor named Sextus Cogenius Verus, who served as the Imperial Navy for over 2 decades on a ship named Asclepius and died at 42. The tablet had been missing from an Italian museum for decades, likely lost during the destruction of the National Archaeological Museum in Civitavecchia during World War II, before eventually ending up in the United States. Okay. Was originally part of a military cemetery in Civitavecchia. The tablet was likely brought to the U.S. by Santoro's ex-husband's grandfather, a New Orleans native stationed in Italy during World War II, and used as a garden decoration before being sold to Santoro in 2018. The FBI is currently in talks with the Italian authorities to repatriate the artifact. So, like, did they give you money for it, or they just steal it back from you? Like, he bought that. Did he get the money back for when he bought it? How long does something have to be stolen for before you get to keep it? If it was stolen like 5,000 years ago, then you get to keep it? All right. Spirits of the dead. Okay, so a little bit weird, but not totally weird. Yeah, what is the message? Okay, inscribed with the Latin phrase, spirits of the dead. So it could be that it just had his name and spirits of the dead. It sounds like something ancient people might put on a tombstone. We know about the oldest tortoise alive named Jonathan. He's 193. I think I've had that on. Oldest tortoise, Jonathan. Tortoise. It was really big turtle, if I remember right. Giant turtle, born 1832. Was alive in April. Wait a minute. Okay, that's 1882. This is a lot smaller than I remember. I remember one being, maybe it's the oldest tortoise, but I remember there was one that was like, if you were standing up, it was almost as big as you. Tortoises, and that was the biggest. It was bigger than that. I think that's a painting. I mean, it was bigger than that. That's the world's oldest. All right, so maybe it's not the world's largest. World's largest tortoise. This is interesting because I kind of feel like maybe some of the timeline has dialed back the strange. Okay, here. This is the size it was, though. Well, maybe not quite that big. But this is an ancient tortoise, so... Okay. No, I think they were bigger than that, though. Huh. This is interesting. Okay. There was some that were so big that I'm like, this is ridiculous. It was sort of like what was going on in the Palm Islands for a while. So I might have dialed it back into a little bit more sanity land here. I mean, these are big, but I think it was like twice as big as these. That's getting more like it, but still. There was two of them, too. They were like friends. I don't see any of the images that I saw before of these things either. They were like in this certain park-like area with the grass and... it's weird. It looks like it's gone. NASA uncovered a hidden rainbow canyon. A hidden rainbow canyon in Utah. How do you have a hidden rainbow canyon in Utah? Like, we have airplanes and stuff. All right, let's see. It's million. I think isn't everything like millions of years old? Why do we need NASA? We have airplanes. Captured by NASA's Landsat 9, the amphitheater's bold colors. All right, we must have known about it already. There's no way it was actually uncovered. I mean, maybe in this timeline it's just new. Rainbow Mountains, Utah. I think we've had this on, actually. So, I mean, does it look like that or does it look like that? Because this is what about I'd expect it, but if you really crank up the contrast and the color in your photos, then I think you get this. Yes, I think it's that. For now, maybe some more shifts. I mean, if you want the super if you want the super bright ridiculous stuff, then I think you have to go see those salt veins in Iran. What the heck is this thing? Canyon at sunset. That's not, I mean, is that the... Wait a minute. Is that the Grand Canyon now? What the heck? That's the Grand Canyon now? I've never seen this image before. Oh, crazy. I've seen this, which was not in my old timeline, as being, there was like that circle end at the Grand Canyon. But I've never seen this. I thought it might be a new place. Utah. Okay, that's Utah. So, Reflection Canyon. All right, so that is a new place. Glen Canyon. Hidden Gem. Oh, it has the wave and it has the wave. Havasupai. What the heck is Havasupai? Oh, come on. That's click to it. Havasupai waterfalls. No images. You bums. Is that an image there? 50-foot falls from... Oh, you bum. All right, hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Havasupai waterfalls. Yeah, we're not getting anything. Looks like Utah's growing some new cool stuff. Wait, that is not what we wanted. We wanted Havasupai Falls. Oh, nice. Oh, Red Canyon, super weird blue waters. We're getting that layer effect thing going on. Nice. Okay, so that's... And then you got the wave. which is this thing. Okay. And then you got whatever was going on over there. Okay, so that area is going to be a nice little mecca. Nice. See, some stuff's good that the timeline's coughing up. Rivers rarely run straight. Yeah, but they don't usually run like that. That's crazy. So they used to be that in Australia they had those billabongs. And the billabongs were famous because they were very snaky. And that was the big claim to fame. Wow, look at how snaky they are. But now, as you said, all kind of rivers do that, including this thing. Even this is even more cray-cray than the billabongs. I wonder what the billabongs are up to. I haven't looked at those. Maybe they're just not that big a deal anymore because now everything is crazy. Billabong River. Do we not have those anymore? We should, right? Are they not snaky anymore? So, used to be if you saw... Oh, this is weird. They're not snaky anymore. Oh, crazy. Are you serious? They're not snaky. That was their claim to fame, that they were like... Now there's... So if you used to type on Billabong, there would be all these crazy snaky. Okay, that's a... Nah, not really. A little bit, but it was just like... It was really ridiculous. So now it's just an ordinary river, basically. The billabongs are not. So any snaky river in Australia, they would call it billabong. But there was a region where they all were like that. Billabong, a dead-end channel extending from the main stream of a river, a streambed filled with water only in the raising, a stagnant pool or... Dang. So that's a different thing now. A stagnant pool? Oh, man. So some stuff is just gone now. That's crazy. A small body of water, usually a permanent one, created by a change in course or flooding of a river. No, it was just the main river, but they were super snaky. Very curvy. Why do you call certain lakes billabongs? Lakes? Billabongs are curvy by definition, as characterized by a distinct crescent or U-shaped plan form. The unique banana-shaped appearance results from a river cutting through a meander, which isolates the old winding bend and leaves it as a stagnant backwater. While they are often described as curvy or banana-shaped, they are technically oxbow lakes formed by an abandonment of river meanders. I'm having trouble understanding that bunch of sentences. Crescent or U-shaped curve with lengths. While generally curved, many become progressively shallower towards the edge. Oh my God. Does anybody remember the super snake curvy billabongs? And it was like rivers. It was rivers in Australia, the famous billabongs. Now it's a pond left behind. It wasn't a pond. It was curvy rivers. It was snaky rivers. This is so crazy. I have not looked at billabongs in a long time, granted. But damn. Billabongs are not snaky rivers. Man, you guys don't remember it, huh? Dang. Yeah, I think we did have the Rainbow Mountain in Utah. like before. I think we've had that on. Nobody remembers the snaky billabongs. Oh, man. I have come too far. I miss it when, you know, everybody would remember, like, almost, or a lot of people would remember the same Mandelas. When you just go, remember when blah, blah, and all there's, oh my God, I remember. That was their claim to fame, that they were all snaky. Like, oh, they're so weirdly snaky. They used to have them on all the time because they were very photographic, you know, photogenic. So that's one of the things that made me suspicious. Like, I don't remember seeing images of billabongs for a long time, so. Oh my gosh. All right, well, it's late. It's time for me to go. I'm going to say goodbye to my snaky billabongs. And we got snaky cucumber things now instead, I guess. Maybe that's what made me think of the billabongs. But, oh, man. Oh, man. You know, I hate it when there was a big Mandela, but nobody remembers it. That I don't know. Maybe they've been gone for 15 years for all I know. When's the last time I really looked up billabongs? But still. Well, you know, you didn't really have to be paying attention because they were always on. Like, it just showed up everywhere all the time. It's like, oh, look at these amazing images of these really weird Australian billabongs. It was like the thing, you know. It's like kangaroos hop and billabongs meander. That was like the it. All right, anyways, I guess I got to learn to let go of stuff. So, not that I have much of a choice. All right, people, you know the drill. Think good thoughts, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is Eva signing off for